With the departure of Willie Pike, Clint Johnston-Porter and Chris Parnham are starting to dominate WA racing. Let's find out a little bit more about Clint. Hi, Clint. It's great to catch up with you. And the first thing I want to start with is Willie Pike. How good is it that he's gone?
Yeah, it's good, but it's also bad, you know. He's a good, close mate, and look, I idle the bloke, but at the end of the day, there's nothing better than beating him in a photo finish.
You do miss him, don't you? And now a lot of people would have said Willie's gone, yourself and Chris Parnham can just dictate the world over here now, but why do you miss him so much?
Oh, look, he's become a big part of my life. I've become quite close mates with him and speak to him most nights just to touch base on everything. I think he gets to have a little bit of a whinge to me now and then, and I can whinge to him now and then.
A lot of people say, and one of the top trainers here, Simon Miller, certainly highlighted it to me, you unashamedly have modelled yourself on everything that Willie's been.
Yeah, definitely. He's the best here, and from the minute I come into racing, he's the bloke I've been watching. I just love his style, the way he rides him out, how strong he is, the way he looks, feel, everything about him's just, he's perfected. So I'm trying to perfect it as well.
And one of the things I've really noticed is, like Willie, you wait until as long as you can before asking the horse for the last big effort.
Yeah, I think that's one of Pikey's key secrets, was to always go through your gears, wait until everything else starts to die off until you can actually use every bit of your horse. You don't win races by at the top of the straight, you always win them at the winning post. So if you can save every penny until the last little bit, I think that wins you more races.
I think most feel the last 12 to 18 months you've just gone bang and taken another big step. Do you feel that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just all starting to come together a bit. I'm having a lot more success. A big thing was Adam put me as his number one. I think that made me make that transition and go, okay, this is it. I got to step forwards and show how good I am.
Do premierships mean a lot to you? Because the door's open now. It is yourself and Chris Parnham fighting at the top. Would premiership wins mean a lot?
I'm just out here trying to improve myself as a rider. If I could pick off a premiership, well, that'd be great. But it's hard because Chris is a brilliant rider and he gets lots of good rides too. So it makes it quite competitive.
A little bit about your background. Now, your dad was a jockey, but you never really wanted to get into it. You left school early, but not to become an apprentice then.
I was probably about 2 when he stopped riding. So I didn't really know that side of Dad as a jockey. He always broke in horses and we always had horses on the farm, but I was more motorbikes, and at the time I was going to be a scaffolder. I thought that was pretty cool. Petrified of heights, but thought it would be a good idea. Mum and Dad were sort of like, do you want to continue on this path or do you want to give riding a go? You're still pretty light in that. And I was like, oh, may as well give riding a go. I was working for old Bobby Baxter that lived down the road at the time and just tipping in feeds every arvo for me $20. It just all come together. I started working for Graham Ballantyne and it just never looked back from there.
Tell us that beautiful story about how hard Adam made you work and what he made you do to get your foot in the door there.
I called him up one day. It was the most scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Adam's got a quite deep voice and it's quite intimidating, especially for a 14-year-old. And he said, how bad do you want it? Could you write me a letter just telling me why you want to do it and pretty much your motivations and what are you going to make of it? So I sat down and wrote myself a little letter, said, look, I want to be a jockey. I don't have much else going for me. I want to be the best as I possibly can, and I just want to be able to support my family and help Mum and Dad out.
About a decade down the track, you now have this formidable combination. You ride track work a couple of days a week. As you mentioned, you are his number one stable rider now, which gets a lot of Bob Peters opportunities for you as well. So what a relationship it's been with yourself and Adam. The biggest influence on your career?
Yeah, definitely. He's a great man and he's always looked after me. He can be tough at times, but without toughness, you don't better yourself, I don't think. I couldn't thank anything more. Jason Miller's also been a big influence as well. He's the man behind the scenes at Durant Racing and he always helps me out.
You've had to get back on the horse, so to speak, a couple of times and in a big way. You've had 2 nasty injuries. Tell us about those, you know, for a relatively young jockey.
The first one happened at track work at Adams. I just come in to work one of Jason Miller's horses, and it whipped on me, and I landed wrong and fractured a vertebrae in my back. 12 months down the track after letting that heal, won a Bunbury Cup, and then I fell on the same horse 2 weeks later and broke 4 vertebrae, so that put me out for another 12 months.
How hard was that? You'd done all the work to get back. You only lasted 3 months, and then you had to deal with another year on the sidelines.
Yeah, it was quite depressing, actually. It was hard watching everyone ride winners and I wasn't out there doing it, especially because I know I can.
Biggest win so far, is there a couple of wins along the way that have meant a lot to you?
Silver Stream, when I won on her, she was my last winner as an apprentice.
In the scale?
In the scale stakes as well, so that was quite a big moment for me.
For Adam and Bob Peters?
Yeah, definitely. And then also I won the scale 2 years after on the Celt for Annie King, and that was just after I come back from my second injury, so that was pretty special to me as well.
Any thoughts of going and trying your luck over east like Willie has?
Look, it's something that if the opportunity come, I'd probably go and have a stab at it, but realistically I've got it pretty good here. I probably wouldn't go anywhere else at the moment unless a great opportunity come up.
And just to leave us, is there a horse or two to follow, short term or longer term? Is there a couple of horses you're excited about getting on?
Yeah, I'm excited about seeing Secret Plan go through his grades. Also like this little horse I won on at Albany the other day, Category 3, another one of Bob's. That's I think is going to be quite special, hopefully.
And going ahead towards the carnival, one of your absolute favourites, Massimo?
Yeah, I'm excited to see him go through. I rode him the other day first up at Northam, and he went brilliant. So I hope I think he's come back better.
Well, it's great to find out a little bit more about you. Well done on the success, particularly coming back from those injuries, and keep up the great work.
Yeah, thank you.